Hi, welcome back and happy new year. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I set up my TradingView chart. When I first started, oh my god, I was that one person that had so many indicators in their chart trying to figure it out, and it was just confusing for me in the end. So I had to dummy it down to simple stuff like moving averages, volume, and candlesticks, and that was it. Nothing else, no MACDs, no RSIs. And I found that it helped me, so I will be going over that in the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with your friends. I appreciate it, it means the world to me. So let's head over to the video. First, I'll show you the basic features such as the watch this section. Then I'll go on to show you where to find tools, how to include indicators on your chart, and how to split your chart into multiple layouts for day trading. So on the right hand side here of the screen, you want to click on the first tab that says watch list and details, and then the watch list pops up. I already have my main watch list shown here, but I'm going to show you how to create one from scratch. So you go to create new list. For this lesson, I'm going to call it lesson. And then to add a stock to your watch list, you just want to click on this plus sign right here. And then you add whatever ticker you want to add to your watch list. So I'm going to add NEO. I can also add Tesla. So once you type the name of the ticker and you press enter, it adds it to the watch list. And you're probably wondering what these red tags are. So if you want to day trade a ticker, you can color code it. You can color code it to say, okay, red because I'm going to day trade it, or you can have it as blue to say, okay, this is a swing trade. It depends. You can just color code whatever you want and however it makes sense to you. So now that's showing you how to include stocks into your watch list. I'm going to go ahead now and show you where the tools are. The tools are on the left side of the screen. So the most important places are where you find your trend line and text. In my opinion, if you're just starting, you want to be able to know where to find the trend line. And if you use Fibonacci retracements or extensions, then you want to go to this third tab right here. But that's the basic. Any other thing, you really don't need to worry yourself about, or you figure out as you go. So I'm going to show you how to include a trend line. So once you click on this tab right here that says trend line, I'm going to click on trend line, and I can also mark it as a favorite tool, so that way it's always ready for me to use. So once I come back here and I click on this, I can now use a trend line. So I draw my trend line from here to this point. I have my trend line in. As you can see, you always want to draw your trend line to touch at least 3 points. So first touch right here, second touch, third touch. So some people trade trendline bounces. I do sometimes. So you can expect that when Apple comes down to this 173, 50, 59 area or 173.50 area, you can expect Apple to bounce once it approaches this trend line. That's also a strategy, but I'm not trying to teach technical lines, just trying to show you how to use TradingView. So you've drawn your trend line. So now I use EMAs, exponential moving averages, to do my technical analysis. Not really to do my tech, but to guide me with my analysis. You don't have to rely on them because they are lagging indicators. So how do I include this exponential moving averages? I go to the indicators tab right here, and I want to look for exponential. I already have it marked as a favorite tool because I use it a lot. So moving average exponential comes up. And in order to include this to your chart, you need to just press enter or just click on it. I use the 8 EMA, the 20 or 21. I use the 35, 50, and 200 exponential moving average. So I just mentioned 5 moving averages, right? So I'm going to click on this 5 times so it brings out 5 exponential moving averages, and then I can modify it as I go. So just watch. So I'm going to click on this 5 times. So I have 5. TradingView by default brings out the 9 EMA when you want to use the exponential moving averages. So I'm going to modify the length in the settings. How am I going to do that? I'm going to come right here to the EMA I want to look at. Click on this settings, this gear sign right here, settings. And then I want to change the length to the specified length I want. So like I said, I use the 8 EMA, right? So I'll change it to the 8. And then for the style, I like the shorter EMA to be green. So I use green. And then you can make the line as thick as you want. So people might use really thick lines, but I don't like it too thick. I just want to use this one here. And that's it. Boom. So I go on to edit the next one, because like I said, I use the 8, 20 or 21, 34, 50, 200. I use the 34 and 50 because of the Ripster EMA cloud, which I will show at the end of this video. I like to use 34 and 50 because sometimes I don't want to use the cloud because it takes up a lot of space. So I'm going to change the length of this 9 EMA to 21. So I usually use yellow for it because, like I said, I rank it in my head with colors that make sense to me based on the length. And then the next one is the 34. And then I'm going to change it to blue. You can make it whatever color you want. It's up to you, right? And then 50, I always like to leave purple. And then last but not the least, 200 and 200. I like it to be close to gold or brown because it's like a make or break point. I only pay attention to the 200 on higher time frames, not really for day trading. For day trading, you want to just pay attention to the shorter ones, the 8, 21, 34, 50. So now you have your moving averages, and you can use it as a guide. Think of yourself driving, and then you have the side mirrors. Your EMAs are your side mirrors, or you are driving and focusing on the road, right? That's how you should think of them. Don't use them as like, oh, your main focus, like your eyes. They shouldn't replace your eyes, if that makes sense. So now that we have that, it's looking good. Also like to include the moving average indicator for the volume right here, just so I could see if the stock I'm trading is trading with above average volume for the last 50 days. You can just easily right click on the volume bars and you want to select volume MA, and you can change the color to whatever you want. So people might say, hey, yeah, let's use white. It's up to you. It's your chart. And I like to use 50-day moving averages because it's showing the volume for the last 50 trading days. That's enough data in my head to use. But yeah, that's about it for indicators right now. And then next, I'm going to show you how to include support and resistance lines. So right here, you want to go back to your trend line tools. There are a lot of options. Personally, I like to use the horizontal ray. So people use the horizontal line, which is like super easy. I'll show you how to use it as well. So for the horizontal line, you just take it. Okay, where do you have support and resistance levels right here? For support and resistance levels, for me, I like to start on the daily time frame and then work my way down, finding levels where we have volume expansion and confluences with the EMAs, then I know, okay, that's a good level, and I set my alerts. So I'll start from the top and work my way down on this daily time frame. So as you can see here, this 182 level is a resistance point on Apple. So I'm just gonna click right there, and it puts the resistance level. Mind you, like sometimes it might just be a couple cents off, but it's up to you to move it around and adjust it and place it exactly where you want to look at it. Another useful tool is the zoom in tool. You just click on it, and then you want to select the area you want to focus on, and then it makes it bigger. That way you can see clearly and know if you're missing a point, and how it depends on how precise you want to be, right? So I used this zoom in tool to do that. So I drew my first resistance line. I like to color code things. So for resistance, some people might say, okay, I'll make it red. So you can edit this line and make it red right here. You can increase the thickness of the line as well. Depends on how thick you want it, or make it thinner. Okay. And you can also change the style. Some people like the dashed lines, some people like the dotted lines, etc. I like just the lines. And then you can walk your way down. Where else can you see resistance points? See another one right here. So I want to include another resistance line over here. Okay. And then another one right here. Right. And you want to do this for realistic price ranges. Sometimes I see some people go all the way back to October price levels. And in October, Apple was at like 148. There's no way this week Apple goes to 148. Unless the US, like something happens and like maybe Apple shuts down or files for bankruptcy or something like that. That's the only way you have that kind of drastic drop. So you want to figure out, okay, how many points does Apple move in a week? And then plot the support and resistance lines for those ranges. Make it easy for yourself. Don't overcomplicate things. So right here, Apple is sitting on this 8 EMA line, which it really likes. Anytime it breaks it, it goes down to the 21 and then it bounces. But now I'm going to include a support line right here, and I'll change the color of this support line to green, because it's telling me green, support, buy. You buy at support. Red, resistance, sell. You sell at resistance, not the other way around. So that's when you notice when I'm making a watch list and I'm saying it needs to break above. If it breaks above a resistance, then it can become support, and then you can buy at that level. But this is not technical analysis, it's just showing you how I use TradingView. So the next support line would be this level right here, right? And then I'll go down to the 4-hour time frame. Just to see if I missed anything or if I can clean up the chart more. You're probably wondering what happened to the chart. Why am I seeing like brown and black backgrounds? This is because when you step down to the 4-hour time frame, it starts to show you pre-market and post-market data. So if you don't want to see pre-market and post-market data, you come down here to this button here that says EXT, and you want to change it from extended trading hours to regular trading hours. I like to leave extended trading hours on there. So when I look at the hourly time frame, I start to see, okay, what price level is holding really nice and what's relevant. As you can see, this 177.38 price range here, right here, is strong because on the 4-hour, it's still valid, it's still holding. So what you can do is to add a text if you want. Right here, text that says, you can say strong level entry if price holds or something like that. It's up to you. That font is not, doesn't look nice. But I hope you're following and you understand what I'm saying. And you can also see that this price level of 180.65 is a good level because it's also validated on the 4-hour, right? So you could do the same thing, include text to show that, okay, I'm paying attention to this level because it's valid on multiple time frames. You do the same thing by going down to the 1-hour as well. So now that you have done your analysis, you can now plan your trades, right? The next thing I wanted to show, which is important because sometimes you want to look at the financials of the stock. So you can read the income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, stats, everything you need to analyze a stock. They have done it for you, right? So now that you know how to set up the charts, draw trend lines, and put on indicators that you need, I would show you a special indicator that I think most people are getting used to right now. Is really nice. It's the Ripster EMA Cloud. I use it on my charts. Before I do, I'm going to take off this indicators that I have because once I put that indicator on right now, the whole chart is going to be messy. So I'm going to take off, like turn off the indicators. So I'm just going to hit the show button to hide them. So I'm going to hide them, not turn off. My bad. So now I'm going to include the Ripster indicator. So you come onto your indicator tab and then you search Ripster EMA clouds. I use them so as you can see, it's part of my favorites. And there you go. It's on. So I'm going to make a separate video because I think this video is getting a little bit long on how to use the EMA cloud system. So the last thing I wanted to mention was how to build a layout so you can view multiple charts at once in TradingView if you're day trading. So you can view multiple time frames at once. So right here, you'd see the select layout button. You want to click on it, and then you want to click on whatever style you want. For the sake of this example, I'll say the four buck style. So I can now select the time frames I want to view. Right, so now this is Apple on the daily time frame. I can decide to switch this one here on my right, top right, to the 4-hour time frame, and then the one at the bottom to the 15-minute time frame, and then the one at the bottom left to maybe the 5-minute time frame or 10-minute time frame. So now it looks a little bit messy, but you can clean it up and adjust it to look as nice as you want. This is just a rough example of how to set up TradingView, like simplistic way, not overcomplicating things. I don't use RSI or the MACD indicators. I don't believe in them. I don't think that you should use too many indicators because I remember when I just started, I had so many indicators and it confused me so much because you can only focus on so many things at once. You're gonna be watching your charts, you're gonna be watching level 2 time and sales, and then you have all these indicators. You don't need that. You just need to focus on price movements, and then you have the EMAs as your mirrors to guide you. That's all you need. So people might say otherwise, but if it works for them, it works for them. I'm just telling you what works for me. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.